Hey guys, I'm Jonathan from J&J, and I just watched Ant-Man and the Wasp, and this is my initial reaction. This is a really fun movie that serves its purpose, but I think it's a mid-movie altogether, but I still think it's really fun. Things I like are Paul Rudd is really good as Ant-Man. Again, I think one of the most perfect castings. I also think majority of the cast is doing a really good job. And it's still a funny movie. These Ant-Man movies are really funny. There's a scene in the school when Scott is like shrunk into a child size that I thought was absolutely hilarious, and I laughed like really good. It's not as funny as the first, but it's still a pretty funny movie. And the action is cool. And it's a Marvel movie. What'd you expect? And it's a fun time. And I think that's what the Marvel wanted with this film. This came after Infinity War, and everyone was so depressed and sad that they had to bring like a light, fun movie. And I think that's where, you know, all of the positive stuff for me. Like I said, it's pretty mid because there are some things in the story that really don't make sense. It just, things happen in the story for the sake that it happens. Especially with the villains in this film. There's a lot of villains in this film, and many superhero films should know that you have a lot of villains is not a good thing. The two ones are Sunny and Ghost, and Ghost is a villain, but she's misunderstood. Then her motives are weird, and they make sense. She wants to survive, but in order to survive, she has to kill someone else, and she thinks that's the only way, but it's not the only way. It's just very confusing, and I don't really feel bad for her. And when she's redeemed, I didn't really care. And Sonny's a typical rich guy who didn't get what he wanted, so he has to like hire people to do stuff, and he was really boring. And he's building in the film too, and then when he comes in, you realize he's a villain, and then it gets weird. And I wouldn't say Bill Foster's a villain. There's a twist that he was helping Ghost, but then he's actually good. It goes back and forth, and the FBI also just wants to get Lang, and then there's an informant with Sonny, and you know the story gets really complicated really quick, and it's really hard to follow other than the first film, which is a really straightforward story. And while the first film didn't have a great villain, I think these two mediocre ones are not better than Darren Cross, even though he's not a great villain himself. This movie loses a lot of the charm in the first film, and I think it's a better film. I'm not saying this is a bad one. It's just entertaining, but the other MCU movie films have a rich story with, you know, good villains and a purpose, while this movie is just here to have fun. There's no problem with a film trying to have fun. That's why it's 7 out of 10. I don't think any MCU movie is like bad, but again, you can tell that this movie was here just to entertain people after Infinity War. There's no problem with that. It's just, that's what it is. Next up is Infinity War.